You know, when you talk about mental health, it is more than counseling. It is more than clinical and hospitals. So mental health is everything. Even in your pop culture, there is a lot of mental health. If you see somebody coming and rescuing you, mental health again.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So somebody, like for example, I would like to give Thanos. Right.
You like Thanos? I know
love
you
Thanos.
like Thanos.
I
yeah.
love Thanos,
Yeah.
and people hate me that I love
Yeah, yeah.
Thanos. I like the psyche behind Thanos because he says that there are resources which are not sufficient for everybody. Maybe his technique was wrong,
Yeah.
but his idea was right, that everybody should get what is
Yeah.
there in the world.
We rolling? Any last words, Rashid? No? Sure? Okay. Guys, welcome to another episode of Jibber with Jabber. Today I'm really happy to have Professor Nabhit Kapur with us. It's good to be able to get you in one place because I know you're around the place all the time, traveling around.
Yes, thank you.
How's everything good?
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, enjoying Dubai?
As always.
Exactly. Dubai's the place to be. I mean, I love it.
It's like a home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Nabhit is very big into mental health. He's a global advocate, relentless crusader, and everything mental health. You're just making sure that you're diving right in and getting involved, right?
Yes, putting mental health everywhere.
Do you feel like it's not being realized as much as it should be globally?
People have started to consider it. Thank you to the COVID-19.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are considering it as an important aspect of life, and COVID-19 has exposed us even more to mental health issues that it should be taken care of, but still a lot needs to be done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of stuff happening in social media that there's a lot of youngsters that their mental health got affected a lot because they weren't able to deal with the sudden stop of everything.
Yes.
You know, like all the older generation, they were like, oh yeah, we were in World War II, we were in this, and this happened to us, and we had this, and you know,
Yeah.
so they've been through something like that. For us, not in our history, in the younger generation, has
Yes.
anybody had this kind of dramatic effect that's kind of
True.
like stopped everything, and it's just like, okay, deal with it, with no kind of real, you know,
True.
advice or ways or help or.
It's just, I remember it's like 1 year now. Everything got stopped for like 3 months. The entire world was just shut. And we had a lot of cases of not youngsters, but young adults dealing with emotional turmoils. Suicide increased, depression increased, anxiety related problems increased globally.
Domestic violence increased.
Domestic violence, rape, marital rapes,
Yeah.
everything got increased. Childbirth got
Yeah.
increased. And so now people are considering it as important, but still there is stigma and taboo related to it, that who to talk, when to talk, how to talk. So that still needs to be done.
And how do you feel about the whole male side of mental health? Because, you know, growing up as males, you're kind of told, deal with it, be strong. You don't talk to your friends about that kind of stuff, and everybody kind of keeps themselves to themselves.
Yes.
And it's not like something that people really are, you know, happy to share unless it's a very close friend or.
Good point you have brought up, actually. So now what we are doing relating to male psychology, next month is going to be the mental health month, and we as an organization, we are starting up that why there is a difference of perception between boys and girls when it comes to mental health. It is majorly because of social conditioning. So boys are taught not to cry, girls are taught that you can cry. But both the genders, and then we talk about gender discrimination also, and then we talk about gender equality also, but there is no gender equality when it comes to mental health. Men have more depression and emotional problems than women, actually. So this is what we are going to do next month. We are going to start a campaign for male psychology, and male mental health is as equally as important as female mental health. So trying to do our best in that area as well.
Totally. Where did your journey with mental health start? It's been a long journey, hasn't it? So.
Not very long, but yeah, we started off in 2016.
Okay.
It's been just 5 years, and it was just a sudden idea that I wanted to do something for mental health, but I was not aware that where my journey is going to take me, because I was a total amateur, had no idea what an organization is, nothing. So just popped an idea, got the organization registered, Then also I did not know what to do, how do I run the organization now? But slowly connecting dots from here to there, connecting people globally, paying my phone bills up to $1,000 a month. So it got connected. So people started appreciating the idea that there is somebody who's actually taking care of this domain. When you talk about mental health, it is more than counseling. It is more than clinical and hospitals. So mental health is everything. Even in your pop culture, there is a lot of mental health if you see. Somebody coming and rescuing you, mental health again. Yeah. So somebody, like for example, I would like to give Thanos. Right?
You like Thanos. I know you like Thanos.
I love Thanos. And people hate me that I love Thanos. I like the psyche behind Thanos because he says that there are resources which are not sufficient for everybody. Maybe his technique was wrong, but his idea was right. That everybody should get what is there in the world, right? If I'm not wrong. And then you see that how many people came to make him weak and to counter him and all. So that is all mental health. That how one person can affect the mental health of the entire universe. So we're trying my best. Yes. So this is how the journey starting to get people on board, politicians, non-politicians, major world leaders, presidents, prime ministers. So they started getting connected to the idea which I was selling out.
How was the journey before? Did you have a lot of support in it, or was it a journey that you had to start?
Nothing at all.
So no family support, no
nothing.
Yeah. They were like, "What are you doing?" Yeah.
They're like, "Seriously, why don't you just go to Canada and earn money?"
Exactly. Yeah.
Because Western culture, people in India, people say Western culture has a lot of psychology. They know it and everything. But to be honest, when I'm traveling, Western culture is more affected with mental health issues than Asian countries or Middle Eastern countries.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of that has got to do with the Western culture tends to want to medicate instead of prevent and instead of educate. So you get a lot of the spirituality side in the Eastern countries and a lot of in Africa where there's a lot more given to herbs and a lot of other stuff that they're treated with, as opposed to take this pill. Oh, it's not working. You need 2 of them. Oh, that's not working. Then you need to take.
Like in Western countries where I've been to US, UK, and especially in UK when I've been like more number of times, there's a person who I'm connected to, and still there, there is a taboo. Like imagine in UK there is a taboo of mental health. He said that when you say that you have mental health issues, you go to some random person, they put you in behind the bars. I was like, really? It doesn't happen that bad in India as well. So there is still stigma. It's a misconception that Western countries are way ahead in mental health things. Yes, the awareness is there, I would say, but it's equally the same situation.
And do you find that it's being embraced around the world now a lot more? Do you feel like the more that you're reaching out there, people are starting to join the bandwagon and really push behind it and all that stuff?
Yes. I mean, see, our field is something like that. You have to go and tell people. They will not understand otherwise. Like for example, a person like me who had no idea how will I do things, I started off mental health. I started becoming an advocate for mental health, telling people about it, started various initiatives, world leaders, PMF mentors, fellowships, etc. Slowly and steadily, obviously we increased the memberships and everything, but ours is the only organization, if you go on the website also, we do not charge anything. It's absolutely free. So the entire organization I just run by my own pocket.
That must be not doing too well for the mental health of your bank manager. So you might need to have a word with him about that. Also give him some techniques to help him kind of look at the balance and be like, what's going on here?
There is nothing has been credited to my account like since 2016. Nothing. But I am happy. I am satisfied. At least I go at night and sleep peacefully because I know I have done something productive today. Even if I make 2 connections in one day of top people in the world, I'm satisfied because they have got connected to my idea. Like today only I got connected to the former president of Central African Republic. She's agreed to come on board. My day is made. So these people are those kind of people who have served in their countries, and now they know that this guy is saying something which is new and which can be applied to their own countries into policy making.
Excellent. So talk to me about the Peaceful Mind Foundation.
So
You're on the board there.
yeah. So the foundation basically works on different domains. We have trainings and workshops with every person, whether police, aviation, government officials, civil societies. So we do a lot of workshops on mental health. Then we have world leaders for mental health, wherein all the policymakers come on board. They sign a document with us that they will help us frame mental health policies, which will be good enough for every country. Then we have Peaceful Mind mentors. Now, this mentors actually we started last year during the lockdown. Yeah. And it is just a normal platform, just like yours. You know, you come, you talk, share your experiences, and there is no particular theme or topic you have to talk. You just share your own experiences. And imagine, we got such a nice response. We had 7 presidents, 2 prime ministers, 3 or 4 foreign ministers like this on board.
Nice.
In 2020 during the lockdown itself. So that is one. Then we have fellowships. We give fellowships to people who want to upgrade themselves into mental health. Then we have goodwill ambassadors. For goodwill ambassadors, it is little difficult to enter the organization because I generally do not approve anybody as a goodwill ambassador. You have to show the passion that you will work for mental health. So these are a couple of initiatives. Yes, we are growing slowly, but we are happy with it.
And what are the steps? Like, how easy is it to approach someone about, you know, because technically it's not like, hey, you're talking to a friend, you'll be like, hey, I've got an idea. You're going to governments and presidents, and how approachable are they and how open are they to the idea usually? What things, what kind of, I want to talk about what kind of things, obstacles and blocks that have come in your way.
They listen first, obviously. Before even that, it's first of all, you have to get connected to them. And by God's grace, I have been very much gifted with this, at least, that I find their connections from somewhere. And I don't tell anybody that how I find them. Their WhatsApp numbers and everything, I find them. I connected to them. Some block me also. But it's fine. I don't lose hope. So then I tell them that why I got connected to them. I give them my details so that they can do their due diligence. Who's this person who's contacting us? Tell them the idea. If everything is fine, they agree it. And I send them documents what they can read, why I'm connected to them, and I mean the website and everything is with them. So once they agree, we tell them that okay, this would be your role into the organization. You will be as a member, and once in blue moon we would require your sessions and everything, and then they agree with it.
And they're down with it.
Because they're sitting politicians and policymakers. So it becomes a little difficult for them even to accept and be available all the time.
And also, I'm assuming a lot of people have to kind of get approval to accept these things.
Yes. Some countries, yes. Some countries, yes. The countries which need a prior approval, I tell them, okay, let's leave it and let's just talk. Do not need to come on my board. I will not name the country. It has happened with me 2-3 times. Then I was like, fine, leave it. But the best part of my organization, which I'm very proud of, to be honest, I have connected even the small islands, which with the population of 1,000 on my board.
Nice.
The Pacific, the Caribbeans, the small islands like Cayman Islands, Cook Islands, Niue. I've connected them.
So what would you say is the problem now, and how was it fixed when it comes to people dealing with mental health?
See, the basic problem here with mental health is that we know that it is there, but we are not perceiving it as important. Like we perceive our fever as important, our cough and cold as important, COVID-19 as very important. We do not perceive mental health as an important aspect. Like today, if I'm sad, tomorrow also I'm sad, third day also I'm sad, I will feel that okay, it will be fine. Better you go and talk to somebody, at least your internal, that jammed up things will come out and you'll feel very less burdened. 3-4 days back, I had a fight with my girlfriend. Okay. So there were things inside me I did not say to her. But one day I was like, I could not sleep. I messaged her everything, blah, 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 blah. And there were like 50-60 messages on her phone. Thankfully, she was sleeping. And and that was the day I was feeling very less burdened, very calm. And I was like, let me sleep now properly.
Once you released what you needed
to. Once I had to release, it released. Thankfully, everything got sorted because she knew that there was a problem. So this is the kind of thing which I tell people, that at least speak up, talk, express your emotions, because that is very important, and that is a very core aspect of mental well-being. And this is what exactly I'm doing. I'm not going into any deep down researches. I'm not doing any number games, nothing. I'm just telling people to speak, to express, which is very important.
So the key for you would be communication. You
Yes.
feel that communication is the biggest way forward.
Yes.
Because I mean, it happens a lot. You'd be surprised how many. I mean, I've had quite a few couple of friends who committed suicide. I mean, the most recent one, he was known as Smiley. That was his nickname. So you would never see him without a smile. So on the external,
Yes.
it was such a shock that anyone had this kind of. They didn't understand it, because all they saw
Was a smile.
was the smile and the happy-go-lucky character and all of these kind of things, you know. So you never really know what's going on inside a person, and especially if they don't communicate. And then you get, I mean, so many things. Mental health isn't just depression.
You know, this is what happens in the youth, especially with the young age. And young age, I means, let's say 19 to 30 or 19 to 28 or something like that. You will see those kind of people, happy, strong, even even the women, even if they are going through something, they will not speak, you know. And even if parents or even close friends, sometimes they notice that, you know, there is something wrong is happening, they will say, okay, let it be, it will be fine. She's not telling or he's not telling. But deep down, that person, imagine how much difficult it is for that person to even come out of it.
Yeah.
So that is why I came out with a concept, not today, but in 2016, 2017, called psychological first aid.
Okay.
Like, if I see that you are going through some issues, it will be on your face. You will not be like your normal repertoire of behavior. I will come and at least intervene. What is problem? Please tell me. Even if you don't want to go into details, just tell me something. So that's the first step of intervention. You help the person to come out of the problem.
And to let them also know that there is somebody there who that they can talk to.
Exactly,
So
that trust.
Yeah, to give them that trust.
So you have to be non-judgmental. You
Yeah.
have to have an open ear. You have to have an open horizon to even listen to that person. Do not give suggestions to that person. It's not right.
Yeah. Totally
Because
agree.
for that person, you do not know what he or she is going through.
Yeah.
So your suggestions would be of any use. So no advices, no suggestions. Don't give too much of your opinions. Just listen. Calmly listen.
I totally agree with that. I find the biggest problem sometimes when somebody is telling someone else how they feel about something is they downplay the issue.
Yeah.
So just because that wouldn't affect you, or just because you would, because, you know, something for me could be tiny, but for somebody else could be
It
a
could be very
huge
big.
life-altering thing.
I'll tell you something. Last year, when I started the Peaceful Mind mentor session, I could not sleep for 3 straight nights. Why? What was the reason? Imagine. I wanted to connect everybody on board, from this country to this country to this country, and that moment, that month of May, my phone bill was $1,500.
Wow.
Imagine.
Yeah.
During the lockdown, the phone bill is $1,500 because I wanted to connect everybody. And that problem, if I told somebody else, it would have been, dude, are you mad? Just sleep.
Are you mad? Sleep, and why are you wasting money?
Money,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But for me, it was very important.
Yeah.
So any issue for anybody could be very big, but for some, it could not be very big. So it's better you just give your ear, lend your shoulder, it's fine. When a person is about to commit suicide, you know, there is one fraction second of threshold that you can just get the person back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's gone.
And how do you see that? And how do you, because this is another thing that I found. A lot of people don't want to get involved because they don't want people to think they're getting involved. Does that make any sense?
Like
So
for
they won't go and approach anyone and talk to them because they're like, well, I don't want them to feel like, you know,
I'm getting too
looking,
much
yeah,
into
I'm getting
their
too much,
life,
or
yeah.
I'm looking down at them and I want to control what they're doing, or I have a say in what they're doing. So they kind of like, he'll sort it out by himself. That happens a lot where they're like, they'll deal with it. They know what they're doing. But sometimes people don't know
Well,
what
I've
they're
seen
doing.
those kind of people, but those kind of people are not genuine people. When you see your closed one, there is something different the person who is about to commit suicide or is going through some issues, they will start giving you hints. They will lose interest, they will stop laughing, or they will laugh to some XYZ stuff. They will start eating a lot, or they will not eat. They will start calling your name again and again. So you will get those small hints wherein you know that you have to intervene.
Obvious signs like cries for help.
Yes, cries for help.
Yeah.
They will not say directly that we need help, because nobody wants to be felt like that. So those are, but some people who say that, okay, they will sort out themselves, and they are not genuine people.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Other than foundations, what do you feel is helping the youth with mental health and different aspects of mental health? Because, for example, as you know, I'm a bit of a geek, and you know, very highly connected with Rashid and Speedy Comics, and these, and you're also connected with them on the board. And I feel like they've had such a strong impact on children and young people. The whole kind of pop culture that's given them kind of like a getaway, and also something to think about, something to take their mind off it, something to you know, to unite people together. Because I mean, geeks are like flowers to a sun. They will always find their way to another geek. Don't know how, but one way or another,
they find
the sunshine, and they'll find. So it helps them communicate with each other. It helps them to, you know. So what are your views on that, and how did you feel that that's doing?
So this pop culture, actually, I got a crash course.
Yeah.
So one of my friends, I told you before the show, he's into these Marvel, DC, and comics and everything. So forcefully, I have to see all the movies.
Yeah.
Forcefully, everything. And somehow you got interested into it, you know, what is going. Maybe for me, the interesting part was that they're flying, and then there are sparkles of those crackers and everything, you know, somebody's fighting in some. But many people do get connected, especially the youth and the young, because I see on Speedy Comics, there are a lot of footfall of people, and especially the very young ones. Everybody wants an action hero in their life, somebody who can rescue them. So that spark of rescuing, because everybody wants to be rescued, whether it's a man or a woman. So people find that rescue behavior and somebody who's going to help them in these kind of figures, like Iron Man, right? He died in one of he died
in your favorite, basically. It was you that killed him, you and Thanos. Yeah.
I love Thanos. I love his hands, actually.
There's his hand right there. You can wear it if you want. It's up to you. You can finish the rest of the interview with a Thanos glove on and just put it on your hand.
I'll do that, seriously. I really love it.
All the fingers move and everything. Put your hand right inside.
Okay.
You can control all the fingers. Just don't do this. Okay, because things happen. When that happens, you know, this episode might not come out. You found them? There you go. They're all in there. They're all in there. You can find your way around.
So he's my favorite one. So people want that somebody in their life should rescue them, help them, listen to them, talk to them. When that daughter of Iron Man says that I love you 3000, though it was a very funny line and a very cute line, loving 3000 means that I love you to eternity. Like, and when we say our friends that, you know, and it actually became a meme that I love you 3000. It shows that people want somebody in their life, but they will never say it upfront. So this is what I think pop culture has, brought to the youth, and especially with Speedy Comics, which is a massive group which is growing in the GCC. So I've seen people in India also, they're very much into pop culture, thanks to my friend. So yeah, this is what I feel about these action figures and comics and all.
I mean, it's amazing, because the way I look at life is there's worlds within worlds. Okay, I call it the bubble syndrome. So
the bubble syndrome.
You have the football people who are into football. That's a whole world, the bubble of that world. All their friends like football, they watch football, they train football, they play football. You have the skateboarding guys who their whole life is skateboarding. They skateboard, they listen to skateboarding music, they dress a certain way. And with the comic community and like the Speedy group community, they're providing something that is so, it's like what's the word that I'm looking for? It's very organic. So it doesn't just,
it's something very natural.
Very natural, because it spreads out. It's like a cell, because that cell attaches to another cell, and then they find another one, they attach to another one, they attach to another one, you know. And I think that these kind of bubbles are really important for the youth.
You know, when you say this, it's very natural and organic. Like people like geeks, they get connected to one geek, and without even knowing, you will know that he's a geek.
Yeah.
Right. I get connected to political leaders just like that.
Yeah.
People ask me that, do you get some training or something? Are you a diplomat or what? I said, no, I just get connected to them.
Yeah, well, you have the Infinity Stones, that's why. So, it's easy to get what you want when you have the stones, bro.
All 5 are there?
Yeah,
Yes.
all of them are there.
Imagine,
Yeah.
imagine how much knowledge I've got of these
Yeah,
things.
see? Well, you got it right. Yeah.
So it's like you know that who, and when I see a photograph of a person, I can tell you whether he's a politician or a diplomat or somebody. And I get very easily connected to them because that's my bubble. And I know how to put my things across them. So yeah, it works best.
So now you have a big vision ahead of you, right?
Yes.
This is a very, very big vision.
Very big. Very tough.
Where do you get the idea? You know what? I'm going to go for Secretary General of the UN.
It was a very sudden idea, actually, you know.
You have a lot of ideas, right? But they come to fruition and they seem to happen. So it's a good idea. Just keep having the ideas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very suddenly, actually, 1 or 2 people who even told me that, Nabhit, you can go for it. So I said, okay, let's try. Why not? I mean, my vision is not to win. My vision is to make an impact. That at least there is somebody as young as me who can actually speak and contest for that huge post in the world. Like that's a massive post. So this was my thing that, okay, I submitted my documentations, and once I submitted my documentations, I said, okay, let's campaign for it. But obviously it's very tough because you have to tell countries to nominate you. You have to tell countries to endorse you. And it is tough. Though I have connections with political leaders and everything, but it becomes a little tough because obviously they will endorse their own country, not me.
Of course.
So I have been, I've been speaking to a lot of political heads, and some have said yes, that they will think about it. Well, let's see.
And what's your vision? Okay, so here's a scenario. Congratulations, you have become the Secretary General. What do we do now?
Well, obviously after taking the oath, my first priority would be mental well-being for all, for the refugees, for the displaced, for the people who are victim of terrorism attacks, especially in Yemen and Syria and Libya. And Libya not so much, but yes, Yemen and Syria. And this would be my vision. So psychosocial support for everybody.
And
because my tagline is UN for all.
Yeah. And how do we go about this?
Well,
I am your second in command. We're ready to go and I need instructions. So where do we go from here? Let's take the steps.
So I will send out teams,
Okay.
and people, I have not dealt directly with refugees and all, but I have seen people dealing with refugees. And more than money, food and everything, obviously that is required to take care of them. They actually need a lot of love and affection because they are displaced from their own countries, right? So my immediate goal would be to make them happy first. Obviously there are a lot of thinking has to be done at what has to be.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean,
How do we make them happy?
we'll try. We'll do something. we'll send them to Speedy Comics.
I was just about to say a lot more than was hand delivered. Rashid, you have a delivery. How much? Africa. Sorry, how much? No, I need one for each person.
Exactly.
Africa, bro.
So we'll have those one small pop figures for each and every kid.
I wouldn't be surprised if he can source them for you, dude.
Of course he has to. Of course he will do it.
I've seen him do numbers that is just not possible before.
That is why that is why I have taken him on board. He has to send these toys and everything to those kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's tough, I know.
Yeah.
But it's good to make an impact.
Okay, so where do we go from here? Now you're doing the foundations, now you're doing these things. What is your day-to-day that's which direction are you going in? Apart from the obviously going for the Secretary General, is there anything that you feel like is lacking that you find a place for you to be in there and help change?
But I generally go with the flow.
Yeah.
I have, like, even after my election campaign will be done, I know my campaign is little slow because I just got to know 10 days back that I can do it. And the nomination ending, I mean the selection ending is just next month.
Okay.
Yeah. So after that I will be just busy with my foundation, and with this vision, obviously with Rashid and all, we'll do much more work in the Middle East, because Middle East we had yet to start.
Mm.
And Africa, I'm doing fabulously good, and planning to start with the Pacific also now.
Okay.
So my job is the same every day: get up, make connections, get them on board, help them to escalate our mental health awareness in their country.
Mm.
So that is how I do it.
And how is your mental health?
Perfect.
Did you ever feel that you were in a place where you weren't in good mental health, and how did you get out of it, if that was the
See,
case?
you're asking this question when I'm wearing the Thanos.
Yeah, I know. I might as well just throw it out there and see what happens. But it's always good to hear from people, because does your mental health come from a situation of surrounding or family or people where you saw things that you wanted to change, or did you ever find yourself? Because I'm sure there is no person that lives their whole life without having any sort of mental health. Because mental health I don't think it's a disease. It's a part of life.
A part of your life.
Yeah.
No, of course I have been into issues and everything, but I do not let it affect me at all.
Yeah.
The reason being because I know how to control myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like even if today when I'm talking to you, there are 3 things going behind my head, but I will not let it affect, because I know I will try to calm it down. And this is what I tell people: like even if things are affecting you, either go and talk to somebody or find a solution for it. Because if you keep on dwelling around the problem will escalate.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is no solution for it. So yes, I have been into issues with families, with friends, with love relationships, with people try to pull me down most of the times, because I have gained that importance in this world. But when I know I'm right, I'm right. So yes, it does not affect me that much.
And how do we deal with levels of mental health?
Levels as in?
Levels as in, because obviously you have depression, you have anxiety, you have some people that have very high mental health that they're running around trying to kill people. You have, so how do we...
So these are not levels actually, I would say. These are different kind of behavioral issues.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it eventually starts from a worry, a tension or sadness, something like that. And goes to anxiety, then it goes to fear, then it goes to phobia, and then it goes to depression, and then it goes to your psycho pathology and all those kind of. But these are different kind of issues. And for every issue, there has to be a starting point, either families, either yourself, either work, or something like that. Especially with, during this time of COVID-19, many people I saw with anxiety, because what will happen next? So that fear of unknown was there. I have given it this term as COVID anxiety, COVID anxiety. So that fear of unknown, fear of the vaccine, fear of unemployment, fear of money cuts, fear of everything, fear of interpersonal relationships getting disbanded. So all these kind of things were there, but everything has a start. So there are no levels, but yes, one thing leads to the other.
I mean, you guys have got a specific COVID thing that you guys are doing. How are you helping people deal with mental health directly from COVID?
So what we did last year was we started this COVID-19 envoys. So we trained approximately 54 COVID-19 envoys. So these were the applications which we got, people who want to be on board with us. We trained them with certain techniques, that how you can counsel at a very initial level. They were not from the background of mental health or something like that. They were people from literature and all those kind of things. So we trained them in 2-3 days, that what needs to be taken care of, how do you have to talk a person who's going through anxiety, etc., etc. And then this was our initial plan for COVID-19.
Do you see COVID finishing anytime soon? Because I don't.
I don't think so.
All right.
It was, the cases came down, and suddenly after the vaccine, the cases went up. And
don't get me started on vaccines and stuff.
No, I'm not starting anything on vaccine. Neither I want to comment on it now, because I'm in the middle of an election. I don't want to comment on it. But yes, cases are going up because people are getting very casual with it. They're not taking it seriously anymore. Especially in India. Now we have the night curfews have started again. It's like a partial lockdown. So
I mean, it's the same in the UK. In the UK, people are just
UK, France,
they
Germany.
weren't interested whatsoever. They were like, look, I'm going to live my life, and you don't,
The same thing happened in the US.
I mean, it's part of it, and in Canada as well. They're very
yes.
part of it. I get it. Part of it is like, look, let me live my life. If I die, I die. It's a choice I should be able to make. Part of it. The other part of it is like, okay, the elderly.
But you know,
and
don't
all
you think that
stuff.
it's like that? You know, you are putting others' life also into danger.
Yeah, but I mean, for example, myself, whose life would I be putting into danger? I literally come from my house to the studio to the pool. I very rarely see any elderly.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
In India, what they say that even if you're a single person driving the car, you need to wear a mask. Who am I putting into danger?
Okay, but
And they have a.
you agree with that? I mean, you can't answer. But I mean, on my side, surely that's outrageous. If you're in a car by yourself, I mean, I'm sure your windscreen is not going to get COVID. You know?
And then they have a challan of 2,000 rupees.
Yeah.
So, what to do?
Yeah, just put the mask on and just get on with it, right? Yeah, yeah,
And especially with this COVID, do you know the amount of business masks and sanitizers are doing?
yeah, yeah.
Especially
A
with those
lot of
designer
money.
masks.
Yeah.
I mean, I do not earn that much.
A lot of money with everything. There's so much. I mean, this whole COVID has been half business, half.
Oh, yes.
Half.
Have you seen designer
pandemic.
masks of Louis
I've seen all
Vuitton?
of, yeah, I've seen all of that stuff. It's
Man.
insane.
Would you buy a Louis Vuitton mask?
I can just about keep this mask on my face. I'm trying to look for any reason to get any kind of doctor to give me a reason to not wear it, because that gives me anxiety. Like, I don't have anxiety. I don't care about the disease. I don't worry about what it does to my life. But having to wear a mask and the feeling of getting out of my car and finally getting to halfway where I'm going and going, oh, now I forgot my mask and I have to walk back and get it and all that stuff. That's the part that affects me the most, like mentally. Like, just let me go. I just want to swim in the beach and build a sandcastle. It's not a big deal. But I get what people are saying, so I'll kind of.
The worst thing about the mask is wearing a mask and walking.
My face, everything. I can't deal with it. Just the air, and I've
It's
got a
too
very big nose. So there's a lot of. I need a lot of mask to cover the nose. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, just see my cameraman's looking at me laughing because we had a conversation about this today. He got in the car and I was like, why are you wearing a mask? And he's like, you have to wear a mask, bro. And I was like, you have to wear a mask. I don't have to do anything. You know, if I see any bullies, I'm driving faster than, you know. But it's like,
This mask business is too much.
it's too much and it doesn't work. I'm sorry to say it, but it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't work.
Of course it doesn't.
Yeah. So it's like,
I don't think so even vaccines work.
no. Look, I know three families, that didn't get corona for a year and a half. They all got the vaccine.
And they
Within
got
3 days, they all got corona.
Yes.
Now hold
In
on.
India it happened.
Now hold on a minute.
In
What's
India,
going on? Yeah.
the healthcare workers of one
Yeah.
of the hospitals, they got vaccines, and all 35 of them have
Yeah.
COVID now.
Yeah, and people are dying, and it's like, hold on a minute. So I'm okay without the vaccine, but you want me to take the vaccine. But then the vaccine doesn't stop me from getting corona.
COVID, no.
And it
will
doesn't
not.
stop me from giving corona.
No.
So what am I
Then
doing here?
Why is the vaccine?
Yeah.
Why the vaccine then?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then what are we doing here? Which game are we playing? Like, so, you know.
The day I flew to Dubai, that is the day when my mother got vaccine. I have to go and see why did you get a
Yeah.
vaccine?
Yeah.
Just chill.
Yeah,
You're not going to get anything.
I always tell everyone, I'm like, look, until the last resort when I'm forced, I'm not going to get it. I'm a very healthy young person, and I feel like my immune system, my God-given immune system, which is made for these kind of things, is gonna help me.
My best friend since
Yeah.
school, the one I went to beach with,
Yeah.
father got COVID. Now when I'm talking to you, it suddenly striked me that he got a vaccine.
You see? You see?
Now suddenly I have to message her once I go back.
You see? I don't know, man. How did it feel to be in the 40 under 40?
Good. It was
Top
good.
100 magazine. That must have been pretty cool.
Yep.
I mean, I'm in the 10,000 out of a million. You know, so you're not the only one with awards in this house. No, yeah, that must have been cool. What was it exactly that they were?
So there
Covering.
was the top 100 magazine actually did a survey with people who are doing impressionable work, and my work has been definitely impressionable because nobody works on mental health to this extent what I'm doing. So I was the only candidate for this.
Okay, so that's pretty good. Pretty easy way to get in there.
Exactly.
I have to invent something that I'll be the only person doing it.
One of the persons has nominated me for CNN Heroes.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. And you've done a lot of TEDx, right? Talks.
Yes, I have done three,
Three,
and
yeah.
I have been invited for the fourth one now.
Nice. I really like TED. They tend to get a lot of people that you don't hear about,
Yes.
you know,
The unsung
and then,
ones.
Yeah, and then it's like you listen to it and it's fascinating. And I'm like, why did I just watch a seagull farting on TV when they could have put this on? Like, you know, what they choose to let you see and what is really out there is the parallel is so widely different.
You know, when I did my TEDx, two TEDx I done, and many people came up to me like, Nabhit, please, we want to go to TEDx and please introduce us. I said, listen, TEDx is something, even if I introduce you, it's up to them whether they take you on board or not. Because TEDx organizations, whoever they do it, they find people on their own. You just cannot go and nominate yourself to be on a TEDx speech. So they're like, okay, chill.
Yeah. Do you still have any contacts for the TEDx? Just get me on there. I'll talk about not wearing a mask and why it's better for your mental health. So now, where do we go? Where do we go with the mental health?
Just going the same way.
Same way.
Same way. I mean, I will not change my strategies that much. But yeah, now I really want things to fasten up. Because now we have the base, we have the connections, we have everything. And most of the things now, the best part is online. So we cannot do any physical activities as of now. And I just want things to, you know, I just need one, you know, how do you say, you just need one push from the back. That, okay, this is your platform, just, it's your moment. And I know I'm going to rock that stage for sure. So that I'm just waiting for that one push, because everything what I've done, to be honest, sir, it's my hard work. Without money, without support, without bank balances. Though my family is very well-to-do family, I come from a business family, and we have a massive business which is 60 years old, but not a single help I have taken, and neither I wanted. So now I just want somebody to believe in me and just push me from the behind. That just do it.
I mean, it's difficult, especially when you're doing something that I know this is going to sound bad, and I know it's not going to be appreciated by a lot of higher ups, but it seems to be whenever somebody does something out of the kindness of their heart or the goodness of society, it's not picked up or supported as much as a business that's going to make them a lot of money.
True.
You know,
I agree with you on that. I totally agree with you on that. I mean, not blabbering about myself, but when I read my profile, I see that, yes, dude, you have done something in your life. Your profile is credible. It's their loss who's not reading it or listening to it. So it's okay. The right time, maybe everything gets done.
And you have to just
I just keep on working.
Keep on working, because with these kind of things, I mean, it's an unfortunate reality. Where's the dollar? You know, the second you make it, because again, you're trying to go against medication and against these things. So essentially going against giants here.
True.
You know, so telling them, hey, I've got a way to fix all this. Great. How much will we make? Nothing. Sorry. How much will we make? I said. Nothing. Oh, okay. Could you just go back to my secretary over there and I'll, you know. So
what has happened with me? I can't even count that how many people have shut doors on my face. Trust me. But fine. People who believed in me, they're still with me. People who didn't, they're not.
And how was it in America, working there and doing that? I mean, you got awarded by the governor of Kentucky, right?
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit.
It was a surprise again. So somebody from Pakistan nominated me. Imagine. And
that's good mental health for them to. They kind of
like
went against all the rivalries and everything.
Exactly. And the profile got approved, and the governor of Kentucky sent my award last October only, because of the lockdown. I could not travel. So, and they said that you can come if you want, but my parents did not allow me to go as well. Because it was a very bad spike in the US that point of time. So the award was sent to my home and everything. It was a nice surprise for me.
You just added it to the wall of awards, and there's a little space for it up here.
My awards are like this.
Everywhere. These are my awards here. As you can see, these are my tribal scars that I'm bringing there. No, dude, it's been an absolute pleasure. Is there anything else that you can tell people? Any kind of advice for people that are dealing with mental health right now? Just and where they can find what you're doing online and all that stuff.
Sure. So just be calm and composed. This situation which is there and other situations which are going to come in your life, it will come and go. You will be there. So do not lose hope, do not lose confidence. Just be consistent with your work. Just try to find out new strategies to work. Help people around you. That is a good enough thing for the youth, especially. And for our work, people can go onto the website peacefulmind.org, and I am available on the social media platforms by the name Nabhit Kapur, so they can get connected to me.
What is the difference for you? I'm going to bring something back before we finish. What is the difference for you between prevention and treatment of mental health? I mean, what do you see it more as okay, we need to really start this with the youth, as well as obviously treating the older lot, but do you think it's more important to prevent?
Yeah, that is what Peaceful Mind does. Our approach has been preventive rather than cure. So when I talk about psychological first aid, that was all preventive way. So this is what I tell people, that prevent something until and unless it goes very bad. Like people with depression or schizophrenia, or people with really bad anxiety disorders, eating disorders, they start from somewhere. Even if there you prevent it, it will be fine. And otherwise it escalates it. Like a child in school is very aggressive, he's very violent, beats up people, etc. If you don't take care of that behavior, then it will escalate it to the adolescents, and then it becomes like a complete antisocial person.
Yeah, you have to find out where the source is as well of where that's coming from, because it's obviously
so it's better to be more preventive rather than getting into cures.
But how do you reach these youth?
We do a lot of workshops and trainings with colleges. We recently concluded 5 workshops with Middlesex University and Amnesty International just last month.
Nice.
So we get a lot of youth, like this. We get connected to colleges, we get connected to the schools, and this is how we can just get in touch with them.
Do you have a lot of youth ambassadors that can also spread the word, or have you not started going down that route yet?
No, we do not have any youth ambassador as of now. We are looking for one, at least 2 to 3 on board. The goodwill ambassadors which we have are all top-notch people, and they are little experienced and about 40 age bracket and all. I'm actually looking for people within 20, 25, something who have, people have more energy and all.
And I think that's really important for relatability as well, because people tend to relate, especially when you're younger, to people who look like you, who sound like you, who act like you, as opposed to looking up and there's like, a 50-year-old telling them what to do, and they're gonna be like, you're 50, dude, what do you know about my life and my struggles and my whatever, not realizing that people are very well read, we're very well studied, and they were also your age. People forget that people were a certain age, you know what I mean, and they think, oh, you're just old. Yeah, but I was young, and when I was young, we got away with a lot more than you did.
True. That is why I said that I will not wear a suit to your show and wear a t-shirt.
That's it. Don't worry, they will all relate. But yeah, man, it's been amazing to get this. I would say a small insight to what you're doing, because I know you're doing things, and hopefully we can just keep going leaps and bounds, and the importance of mental health. I can't stress how important it is, and I think the importance of a prevention and being able to notice it in people around you, and not being scared to kind of lend a hand, or at least open a door and say, this door is always open. I'm not telling you to walk in now, but if you ever feel like you do need a room or a safe room, then please, this is a safe place.
My recent video was there just to tell people that if they want to watch it, it's on YouTube, that if mental health is not taken care of, because now it's going to escalate with COVID-19 situation, especially, and with employment issues. Mental health can be the next pandemic. And people will not know what to do about it.
I totally agree. Like we were talking about before, never in history has something affected the world globally like this. So you've got a lot of people trying to kind of figure it out by themselves as well. Because, and I find another thing is there's a lot of mistrust with governments amongst the youth and amongst all that, because they're like, oh, you're trying to lock us up, you're trying to do this, and you don't want us to do this, and we're young and it doesn't affect us, but you're not letting us do anything. And so it's going to be a difficult one.
Oh yes, that trust has to be from both the sides. People have to understand from both the sides, but you know the young ones, we are all young, and we are all impulsive, we are all hot blood. So but now the COVID which is spreading, it's with the young ones only, not the old ones.
In India?
Yes.
Okay.
Between the age gap of 18 to 30 or 33, 34.
So it's like a whole nother strain.
Yes.
I don't know
Thankfully,
what's
I'm
going
here.
on. Yeah, exactly. Man, dude, it's been an absolute pleasure to have
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for gibbering with Jabber today.
Thank you.
And guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll put all the links for Nabhit in the description.
Thank you for
Thanks
this
again, brother.
For
No,
this.
no,
as
you
well.
can't take that with you. That's my pride and joy. That stays here, mate. I got a lot of clicking.
He's my favorite one, please. And people hate me for this.
Do you know what? I
seriously.
didn't want to say anything, but Rashid's in the room, and I feel like Rashid's looking at me like, oh, you thought that you make the decisions. Yeah. So I think it's Rashid's cool.
No, I'll take one from Speedy Comics.
Yeah. Yeah, I say that, but do you think you have any stock left after my last visit? Because when we look around this room,
I don't know, Ahmed. I've been seeing a lot of my stuff here.
a lot, right?
So this is all Speedy Comics stuff, right?
Yeah, I've also got another office in there, which he doesn't know what's in that one, so we'll just leave that door locked.
That door is locked.
Dude, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank
Rashid,
you.
thank you for coming down today, and we've got a lot more to do. You have about another 5 episodes that you need to make with me, you know that, right? So stop dodging them, all right?
Sure.
So, guys, we'll see you soon.